Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and it is time for my December MTB Slam. I guess I've been doing these for about 8 months, and they have been an absolute blast. So I'm just going to continue doing them whenever I get a box. I mean, it's just fun. For those of you who have not seen or never seen the Mystery Tackle Box, what it is, it's a subscription-based company. All you do is you go and you subscribe for as many months as you want to, all the way up to a year. And they send you once a month on the 10th, they ship out a box that's full of tackle. It's, you know, you pay between, I want to say $12 to $15 for the box, and you get $20 to $30 in product. And, you know, sometimes it's even more than that. But anyway, so it comes full of tackle. It comes full of stuff that you may have never seen before, never tried before. Things that may one day become your confidence bait, become something that you always have tied onto your rod. You may find a company that you really like, things like that. That's what Mystery Tackle Box is all about. It's about introducing new tackle to those of us who love to fish. New this last month is that you can change your subscription from a bass box to an ice fishing box or an inshore fishing box. But anyway, those of you who fish ice fish during the wintertime, you can change your subscription midway through to an ice fishing box. And then when it comes back to bass fishing, you can change it back. Same thing with inshore. So what a cool concept they have. Okay, so what my MTB Slam is I take this box, I take it out on my boat, I open it up on my boat, and I basically show you what's in the box. Then I take all of the lures that are in there and all the tackle that's in there, put them on fishing rods, and I try to go catch a fish on each individual rod or each lure. If there's a hook, I try to catch a fish on a soft plastic and a hook, or, you know, if you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the box, I'm going to show you what's in it, talk about it, then I'm going to go out here on Clark Hill and see if I can catch some fish. My conditions today, water temperature is in the low 50s this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to get up to 60 to 62 degrees, light wind. But with the water temperature in the low 50s, it means the bass are getting ready to start that downturn into that lethargic type stuff. But I'm hoping I can catch some up in the shallow grass flats early, or, you know, something early. That's why I'm out here and trying to bust my tail to get this opening done. So let's open it up. See what happens. All right. This ought to be interesting. All right. Let me get the box, or the little card out. It's in the bottom of the box. The first thing we have is a live target bluegill. It retails at $13.99. Says it's a square bill. Let's open it up, take a look at it real quick. Well, this one is a round bill. It is not a square bill, so that was one of the mistakes I had heard that they had made on their cards, and they'll make sure that they don't do that next time. It happens. Everybody's human. Anyway, there it is. Live target bluegill, round bill. So that'll be perfect for ripping through grass. Gold and black back. A little bit of a rattle. Pretty cool. That won't be too tough. The Freedom Lures. This is their football head. It's called the Rogue. It's the football jig. You guys have seen, if you haven't seen Freedom Lures, they're pretty cool. They've got these things out called swinging football heads. I don't know what else they're called. It's kind of a generic name. But these are, you see it's a football head, but it swings like this. But you can take your hook off and replace it with whatever you want to put on it, whatever kind of hook you want to put on it. Okay? So, and all it is, it's got this little thing down on the inside. I hope you guys can see that. Just, all you gotta do is just put your hook on it, just like that. Pretty cool little deal. See what I can do with that. The next one is the It's a Bug by Stanley. It's a creature bait. Where is it at? I got one in black and blue. That color might, yeah, it might work this time of year. And in these conditions. Pull that out of the box real quick. Kind of a little creature bait. Got claws and everything else. So, see what I can do with that. I don't have a whole lot of cover to throw into except for grass flats. So, next one is the 5-inch Webo worm 4-pack. Oh, I always forget to tell you what these retail. The Freedom jig is $6.99. The Stanley is $2.99. I mean, so you're really getting your money back on this box. The next one is the, of course, the Webo worm from Gambler Lures. Sample pack of 4. Green pumpkin, my favorite color. Pretty awesome. Figure out what we're going to do with that. Then the VMC Power Shot hook. Now, I heard a little bit about this from a video that Mike Iaconelli did, because you guys know he's sponsored by VMC. But it's their drop shot hook with a heavy wire EWG with a longer shank. So, oops, let me turn around so you can see that. So it's got the little swivel thing for the drop shot. So I'll be power shotting, I guess. And then a Wren drop shot weight. Where are they at? Wren drop shot weight. I don't know how heavy they are. 1/4 ounce. I'll be doing that with the power shot, I guess. Pretty cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then the Dibble Digest for Christmas. This Dibble Digest is pretty cool. It's just a little magazine. It usually talks about the baits you're getting. Tells a little story from Carl Von Dibble. Talks about the discounts and the announcements and the contests and everything else that's going on. Here's a video by Robert Montgomery about frogs, frog fishing, things like that. I haven't read it, so I don't know what that is about. I'm just going off the title. Growing Up with Nature. Oh, looks pretty good. Here's one about vertical cover for winter bass, winter fishing, by Matt. I never can say his last name. He's a staff writer for MTB. Talked to him on the phone a few weeks ago. Hopefully we'll get together and go fishing one day. Here's one on drop shot, Unraveling the Mysteries of Drop Shot Fishing, by Destin DeMoran, BASS and FLW professional angler. Pretty cool. Love to pick his brain. A word search game. That's funny. The thing about the MTB Slam, where you can do what I do, catch fish on every lure on a video and have a chance to win $250 worth of baits. Product reviews. I don't know what that's about, but you guys can read it. Pretty cool stickers and everything else. Okay, whatever. I'm falling behind, and the sun's coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig these things up real quick, and just throw them on a rod, and then I'll turn the video camera back on and show you how I did it. All right, let's see how I rigged it up. Of course, the live target crankbait. Just put on my crankbait rod. This thing's got some really good hooks. Really, really good hooks. So I'm kind of happy about that. Don't know how deep it dives. I'll have to figure that out when I start cranking. Go hit some of those grass flats, things like that. I have it on a medium action crankbait rod, Duckett Micro Magic cranking rod, with, I think I've got 10-pound test fluorocarbon. No, 12-pound test fluorocarbon on this one. The next one is the Freedom Tackle Corporation football jig. This one right here, it's blackhead, and I took that Stanley It's a Bug and put on there. You guys know how much I love jig fishing, so we'll goof around with that, see if we can't catch anything. And then last but not least, I put the Webo worm, the 5-inch Webo worm from Gambler Lures, on the power shot hook. the VMC Power Shot hook and get the right one. And put the Ren drop shot weight on there. So I've got a Power Shot, and I did it with a short leader, and I may even shorten it up even more than that, and go fishing with that. A couple of things to realize or to remember when you're rigging up these VMC hooks. You want to make sure you keep that eye of that hook exposed. Don't put too much of that hook in that worm on that tip. Okay, this is a little worm. I dipped it in a little bit of JJ's Magic. Of course, I tipped the tail. And some chartreuse JJ's. Same thing with the Freedom Lures football jig. These little swinging head jigs. One thing I've learned is if you put the hook too far down in the bait right there, you'll mess up the action of that swinging head. So it's one thing to remember when you do that. But other than that, I'm just going to go out and go fishing. I'm probably going to make a long run. This creek has no bait fish in it. I ran through it for about 20 minutes this morning, and there's nothing in it. So I'm going to get out of here, run up the lake, burn some gas, and see if I can find some fish further away. Anyway, let's see how it goes. All right, now one of the things I want to do with these MTB slams is I want to teach a little bit more. And so not only am I going to be trying to catch fish, I'm going to kind of try to explain why and what and how and all the other stuff that I'm doing. So I haven't been on the lake in a while. I got no clue what the fish are doing. I know what the crappie are doing. I've been catching crappie like crazy. But so I'm going to do what I normally do is once I find an area that has some bait fish, I go running a search bait. You know, go and hit points, hit flats, hit grass patches, brush, and everything else that are in that area. I don't fish the schools of bait fish. I fish the area that would hold a bass. Ooh, and I came way too shallow. Was not paying attention. Stump right there. This water is super clear. Let me see what this bait does. It dives, looks like it dives about 3 feet. So real shallow. May have to get a bass to come up and hit this. I'm hoping I can catch some up on these flats, but I'm just going to turn this trolling motor up on high, or on higher than I normally would, and see if I can catch a fish. Just run the bank, and what I'm doing is I'm looking behind the bait as I'm bringing it in, and I'm looking for following fish. I'm looking for anything that'll tell me there's fish in the area. If I get a hit, that's great, but I'm looking for any sign. As I'm fishing this crankbait, I'm trying different speeds. I'm trying to, I'm doing a lot of different things to figure out how, if I need to trigger a strike or not. Getting it down in the grass and ripping it out. Milfoil doesn't rip off the hook very easily. I'll find some hydrilla. And as I run the bank, if I come up on something I can pitch to, I'll reach down and I'll grab one of the, the jig or the drop shot, and power shot, whatever they want to call it. And I'll pitch in there, see if I can't catch something out of a brush pile or off a stump or something that I see. Always pay attention to what's coming up. What's crazy about fishing? You got to pay attention to what your bait's doing when it gets bit. You got to pay attention to what your hands are doing. You got to pay attention to what everything else is doing. Then you got to pay attention to what's in front of you so you can anticipate what's coming up. That's what I love about it. Mind has always got to be working. See, now I'm coming around this corner and I'm looking in the back of this pocket, and I'm seeing things ticking on the surface. I'm seeing fish surface. I'm seeing just movement. See, like right here on the surface, way back in the back, lets me know that there's fish in this area. And the way that they're schooling and the way they're coming up, I can almost guarantee it's going to be bass. So I'm going to, I'm not going to go rush at them. I'm just going to kind of sneak up on them, see if I can't catch something in the outskirts of where they are, and just slowly work my way to them so I don't spook them all off. And maybe I can catch all 3 fish in this pocket. There's a loon in the back feeding on bait fish, so it lets me know there's fish in the area. Just going to kind of slow down and see what I can figure out. Now, I put this power shot on a medium fast action rod. I've got 12-pound test monofilament on here. When you do these power shots, it ain't drop shot. You don't want to use your light line, your spinning rods, or anything else. You actually want a heavier weight than this 1/4 ounce. That's what I got in the box. And you're going to fish it like you do any Texas rig or jig, and you're going to set the hook that's the same way. It's not a, you know, on a regular drop shot with that open hook, you just reel into the fish and the fish hooks itself. Not on this one. You've got to drive that hook through the plastic and into the fish's mouth, and it's a little bit heavier wire hook, or quite a bit heavier wire hook. So you really want to set the hook hard. What I'm doing right here is I'm using this power shot or this drop shot like I would a Carolina rig. Throw up into this shallow grass, and I'm just kind of dragging it across and shaking it. What I love about this over a Carolina rig is you can leave it in one spot longer and still have action on your worm. All right, let's go find another spot. Because sometimes, even when they're in here, they ain't gonna bite what you got. You gotta go find somewhere else. Goodness, I didn't have my microphone on, but anyway, that was about a 3.5, 4 pounder I caught on a Freedom jig, the football jig, and it had the It's a Bug on it, the black and blue It's a Bug. So pretty cool. Sorry about the sound. I thought I'd flip the switch on, but I didn't. Luckily, I caught it in time. But anyway, that was awesome. Real shallow in the grass. I had a brush pile sitting right there, and I flipped into that brush pile and just shook it and shook it and shook it, and I shook it for a long time. And it was a big brush pile, so I just kept shaking it and kept shaking it, hopped it over one limb, shook it a little bit more, and then I just lost feeling with my bait and set the hook, and that was that 4 pounder. Sweet, that's one. Man, it is a tough day. So let's see what I can do the rest of the day. Oh man. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. A little one, but it's a fish. Got him out of the hydrilla. Oh, that's number 2. Let's see if I can catch one more on that dang crankbait. What it is, I pitched up next to the corner of that dock right there and brought it out, and there was a little patch of hydrilla. Felt like there was a little wood in there. I don't know, but anyway. And the funny thing about these spin shot hooks, these power shot, whatever they call them from VMC, is you can't set the hook like you do a jig, because this swivel piece right here blows their mouth open. So you kind of got to, you saw how I set the hook. It was kind of a soft set, or a what we call a reel set. Reel to them till you feel them, and then start pulling until it pops out and you can set the hook in. Kind of a tough little hook set, but it can be done. With some practice, you can get it. You can do it every time. But I missed probably 3 fish on this until I realized what was going on. So, all right. Well, the sun's going down. I fished all day and caught 2 fish. I missed 3 or 4 of them once I figured out what the hook set was for that spin shot or that power shot. I was able to catch one on it. But it was a tough day, it really was. I knew it would be. It's frustrating knowing what they want and not being able to fish it. I knew that they wanted a rattle trap. I knew it. And you know that the crankbait that I didn't catch a fish on, it just had too wide of a wobble. The bass this time of year, for some reason, at least for me, they like that tight wobble of that rattle trap, or a square bill that has a tight wobble, or flat-sided square bill, something. But that round bill just wasn't the ticket. I saw 10 or 15 fish following it to the boat. They just didn't want it. It is what it is. But anyway, first fish, I caught it on the Freedom football jig. Freedom Tackle Corporation football jig, the one that has a little swinging head with a detachable hook. I put the It's-A-Bug, the Stanley It's-A-Bug on there, and I felt like the profile was a little too big, so I pinched off the little tentacles. I don't know where they went. I threw them in the bottom of the boat so I could show you. I don't know where they went. Oh well. But I pinched off the little tentacles because it was about, that long, and shortened it up a bit. Threw it in that brush pile. I mean, it was just a nice big brush pile in this pocket with hydrilla around it. Everything said there had to be a fish there, and I just sit there and shook it, pulled it up to a limb and banged it on the limb and shook it and shook it and shook it, and all of a sudden it just got heavy. So that fish, didn't want to bite, but it just held it in its mouth just long enough for me to feel it, and I set the hook. I didn't feel the bite or anything else. The jig just got heavier than it normally would. And that just comes, being able to know that that's a bite just comes with experience. Okay, and the number 2 fish was caught on, there was a bunch of fish up underneath that little dock that I came on. It was the only dock back in that pocket. Had hydrilla or grass around it. Brush pile out in front of it. I threw up next to the corner. I sat there and I just shook it and shook it and shook it. There just had to be a fish under there just because it was the only dock and it was the only shade outside of the grass that was in that pocket. Well, I caught it on the Weebo worm from Gambler Lures. Nice little 5-inch worm. I would, if I could go back and do this all over again, I would have put this on a shaky head and I would have tried to catch 4 fish. I'd have put this on a shaky head and put a bigger worm or creature bait on the power shot hook, just because it's a big hook and you lose almost all your action with that big old 5/0 hook and that 5-inch worm. So that was kind of a dumb thing for me to do. Like I said, I was getting greedy. All I wanted to do was catch 3 fish and be out of here. Screwed myself, but anyway. So the one thing I did learn about this power shot hook is that when you set the hook straight over top of your head, for some reason, I think this, the swivel here pops the fish's mouth open and it makes it hard to get a good hook set. So make sure that you reel set it. I had a short leader with the Wren drop shot. Okay. Now, but anyway, it's a good hook, good worm. I love the shape of this drop shot weight, this Wren drop shot weight. But I'm gonna give them one suggestion. Pay for the little bit more expensive swivels. This swivel is, I lost the first one because it basically, the line just slid out of it. The gap in the swivel at the top is just too wide to pinch any line. I actually had to tie a knot on the end of my line to get it to not slide off the line. So, I mean, look, watch. You just pull it and it slides right off. Not supposed to happen that way. So guys, this is a wonderful product. I mean, it's a perfect shape, comes in and out of cover real easy, stays on the bottom. Just my suggestion, get the better swivels when you're making your sinkers, and you won't have as many unhappy customers. But anyway, it is what it is. Now, let's see. Oh, then the one I did not catch anything on was the live target bluegill. And boy, they wanted it, but it just wasn't quite, I mean, they followed it, but it wasn't quite what they wanted. I think that little round bill right there just gave it too much wobble. And they like a little tight wobble this time of year. I mean, just a beautiful bait though. Great action. I mean, you can burn it, you can do all kinds of stuff, but It just has too wide of a wobble today. I'm definitely going to put this in my box though and use it, because there are times of the year, especially in the spring and summertime, where they want, or late spring and summertime, where they want something really, really wobbling wide. So that's what it is. Well, it's been a while since I haven't completed it, but it happens. It definitely happens. So like I said, if you haven't seen Mystery Tackle Box, check it out. Go to their website. You can get your very first box for $4.99. I'll put the code right up here. Don't forget the ice fishing box and the oh gosh, the ice fishing box and the inshore box. And then, hey guys, before I let you go, I need a favor. What I need is I need you to help me to teach the world to fish. And by doing it, and the way you do that is you go over to my Flukemaster channel, this one right here, and you share those videos on Instagram and Facebook and across social media and things like that. Point your friends in the direction of those videos. Tell them that they can go and they can learn, you know, learn what you've learned about bass fishing. You know, I just want to teach as many people as I can how to fish. This channel right here, my Flukemaster review channel, that's where I do all my promotions, things for potential sponsors and for do my MTB slam. It's just kind of where I do all the marketing and stuff like that. That way I keep that other channel clean and keep it all about teaching. So do me a favor, go over there, share those videos, and help me to teach the world to fish. Thanks. Have a great day.